In the silent corridors of your everyday life, a ripple stirs, a subtle yet undeniable current of change. Imagine for a moment that every seemingly inconsequential act of kindness, every brave decision taken in the quiet moments when no one was watching, has not been lost in the vast tapestry of time. Instead, these moments have been weaving themselves into a grand design, a design meant only for you. Today, a wealthy stranger whose heart pulses with the energy of possibility extends a hand toward your destiny. You, the chosen one, are about to be relocated, not merely in body but in spirit, to a realm where your truest self can finally flourish. This is not a tale spun from idle fantasy. It is a call to action, an invitation to embrace a change that is as inevitable as the turning of the seasons. In these words, you will find the keys to unlock new doors, to step into a future filled with promise and purpose. Let's continue and let the power of your own hidden light guide you through a transformation that will echo through every aspect of your life. Chapter 1. The Hidden Seed. Take a quiet moment. Breathe in deeply. Now let your mind drift back, not to the grand triumphs or celebrated victories, but to a moment so small you may have forgotten it entirely. Perhaps it was a kind word to a stranger, a silent gesture of compassion when no one was watching, or a brave stand for what was right when staying silent would have been easier. That moment, fleeting and unassuming, was the planting of a seed. You didn't know it then, but that single act, offered without expectation, was powerful enough to bend the arc of destiny. Like a pebble dropped into still water, the ripples of your kindness have reached far beyond what you can see. They've traveled across unseen spaces, through hearts and stories and lives, whispering your name into places you never imagined. For life operates within a vast, invisible network, one woven from threads of energy, trust, and intention. And though your gesture may have felt small, the universe has not forgotten. Somewhere within that quiet current of connection, someone was listening. Someone who holds great influence. Someone whose presence is like gravity, subtle, steady, and capable of changing everything. A wealthy stranger, cloaked not just in material riches, but in wisdom and vision, has seen the light in you that others may have overlooked. They are drawn not by status or fame, but by authenticity, by the quiet strength that emanated from your one simple act of goodness. Now that stranger is preparing to intervene. Your life, once moving along its ordinary course, is about to be redirected. Doors you didn't know existed are creaking open. Possibilities you once dismissed as impossible are aligning with precision, as if the universe itself is conspiring on your behalf. You've been chosen not for what you wear, what you own, or even what you've accomplished, but for who you were in a moment when it mattered most. The world is shifting in your favor because you moved from the heart when no one was looking. So, take a breath. Feel it, that subtle yet certain pull towards something greater. It's real, and it's time. The seed has been planted. Now it begins to bloom. Chapter 2. The Invisible Network. Have you ever paused to wonder how things truly fall into place? How some moments, seemingly random, become life-altering, not by force or calculation, but by quiet alignment? Behind every sudden breakthrough or unexpected opportunity lies something more profound than coincidence. A hidden network, vast and alive, silently weaving your story into a greater tapestry. This invisible web connects us all, friends and strangers, mentors and rivals, through choices, conversations, and acts of kindness that ripple far beyond what the eye can see. It's a network built not on algorithms or intentions alone, but on energy, on sincerity, compassion, trust, and truth. Every good deed you've done, every time you chose kindness over convenience, creates a vibration. That vibration traveled, softly but surely, whispering your name into rooms you've never entered, stirring hearts you'll never meet. Picture a gathering in a crowded room filled with quiet chatter, where one person shares a story about something you did. Another hears it and passes it on, and eventually it reaches someone with the power to change everything. the wealthy stranger. He's not driven by surface-level success, but by substance. He listens between the lines, watching for authenticity, for stories that resonate with integrity and soul. Your story, quiet, sincere, real, found its way to him through the current of this unseen network. He sees in you what many have missed, a person of quiet strength whose impact echoes beyond applause. Your actions didn't need a stage. They spoke for themselves, and the network amplified them. Now visualize yourself as a glowing point of light, suspended in this lattice of human connection. The brighter you shine by staying true to your values, the more the threads around you begin to pull and align. You're not just a bystander in this web, you are a force within it, attracting the very future your soul was born to meet. So trust it. This isn't luck. This is the universe answering the energy you've been giving all along. Chapter 3, Stepping into the Unknown. Change, at its core, is a dance with the unknown, a delicate, thrilling ballet between hope and hesitation. To leave behind what's familiar, even if it no longer fits, is to brave a storm of emotions. The flutter of anticipation, the ache of farewell, the whisper of fear. As you prepare to cross into a new chapter, you may feel that inner tremble. Will I make it? Can I trust this shift? What if I fail? These questions are not signs of weakness. They are echoes of a soul about to grow. You are standing at the edge of a wild, untamed river. The current rushes forward, fierce yet inviting, carrying the promise of a life yet unlived. Behind you lies the comfort of the known, the safety of repetition. But comfort is not always freedom. It can be a cage made of invisible bars. And now the river calls. It doesn't offer certainty, only possibility. To step in is to surrender, to trust that you were made for more than merely surviving. Packing your life into boxes, each item a chapter of your past, each goodbye a quiet release. You are not just moving your things, you are shedding your skin. This isn't a relocation, it's a rebirth. The wealthy stranger's offer is not just a change in geography, it is a mirror held up to your potential, urging you to step forward, not as who you've been, but as who you're becoming. And once you arrive, everything unfamiliar becomes a new invitation. New names, new customs, new lessons written into the landscape. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but know this: disorientation is often the birthplace of transformation. In learning to navigate what's new, you become someone stronger, wiser, freer. So before you step across that threshold, ask yourself, what anchors me? What do I want to carry into this new world? Let your values be your compass. Let purpose outweigh fear, because the truth is every great story begins with a step into the... Chapter 4. The soul's path. Beneath the surface of this physical relocation lies something far more sacred, a spiritual metamorphosis that has been quietly unfolding within you all along. While the world may see a change in scenery, your soul recognizes something deeper, a divine invitation to awaken, to rise, to remember who you truly are. Every challenge you've endured, every heartbreak, every closed door wasn't a detour, it was preparation. Life, in its infinite wisdom, has been shaping you through both pain and perseverance, gently stripping away all that is not essential. Like a sculptor revealing form from stone, your journey has been carving away doubt and fear, unveiling a core forged in fire and resilience. Now, standing at the edge of a new beginning, you're not just stepping into a new place, you're stepping into the light of your purpose. This new space you're moving into holds more than new people or unfamiliar streets. It carries energy meant just for you. The land itself may feel different, almost alive, pulsing with a quiet frequency that resonates with your soul. The community, the pace, the culture, it all mirrors something ancient and forgotten within you. This is not a coincidence. This is divine alignment. But for this inner evolution to fully bloom, you must create space for stillness. In the rush of change, set aside moments to breathe, to listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. In solitude, you'll begin to hear the soft whispers of your soul, guiding you with wisdom beyond words. A stranger's smile, a lyric in a song, a dream that lingers, all are signs, gentle nudges from the divine reminding you that you are on the right path. Gratitude will be your grounding force. Be thankful not only for what is clear, but for what is still becoming. Mark this transition with a sacred gesture, a candle lit with intention, a letter to your future self, or a token that reminds you of your strength. Because this isn't just a journey of distance, it's a return to your truest self, where your spirit can finally stretch, breathe, and become. Chapter 5, Turning Change into Action. This move, this bold step into the unknown, is not the final page in your story. It is the match that lights the fuse. You've been given something rare, a divine spark wrapped in possibility. But make no mistake, this spark is not the fire itself. The universe has handed you the raw materials, but now it's your hands, your will, your vision that must shape the flame. This is your moment to turn transformation into motion. Your life now as a pliable piece of clay, resting on the wheel of reinvention. Before you lies a fresh palette, new surroundings, new tools, and vivid, untapped colors. The question is no longer if you can create, but what you will create. What dreams have been quietly waiting within you, whispering in moments of stillness? What passions have been packed away, patiently yearning to breathe again? Maybe you've longed to write that book, to start that project, to build something from your soul's deepest truth. Or perhaps you feel called to serve others, to give back in a way that reflects your values and unique gifts. Whatever it is, now is the time to give it shape. Speak it, write it, claim it. When you declare your vision with boldness, the world around you begins to respond. Words carry power. Writing down your goals becomes an invocation, a sacred commitment between your spirit and your future. In this new place, explore with intention. Say yes to unfamiliar paths, talk to strangers, join conversations, attend gatherings. Each interaction is a possible key, unlocking hidden doors to inspiration, mentorship, and connection. The creative energy you seek is already swirling around you, waiting to be claimed. But remember, creativity doesn't bloom in chaos alone. It needs rhythm, it needs discipline. Set aside space daily to work on your craft. Let small steps become sacred rituals. When setbacks come, don't retreat, pivot. Let failure become fuel. Let discomfort teach you. And above all, let courage lead. You've been given the opportunity. Now give the world your response. Step through the open door. Dream louder, build braver, leave a mark that no one else can replicate. This is your time. Chapter 6, Embracing the Flow of Life. In the midst of this sacred transition, you begin to sense a deeper truth. Life is not something to be controlled or conquered. It is a dance, fluid and alive, unfolding in rhythm with your willingness to move with it. Each moment, each shift invites you into a choreography of both intention and surrender, where purpose meets spontaneity and certainty gives way to wonder. A powerful river carving its way through the land, sculpting the earth not with force alone, but with grace and persistence. This river is the energy now moving through your life, sometimes gentle, sometimes wild, always in motion. Your role is not to resist its current, but to trust it. To let it carry you, shape you, even as the destination remains hidden in the mist. The path is not meant to be fully known. It is meant to be felt. In this divine flow, flexibility becomes your compass. The familiar may dissolve. Expectations may fall away. Yet within the uncertain, something beautiful stirs. Listen closely to the soft nudges, the small signs, the passing comment, the sudden thought, the serendipitous meeting. These are the universe's whispers, guiding you through the fog. Hold tightly to your values. Let kindness, truth, and courage be the anchors that steady your soul. When fear creeps in, when doubt knocks, return to the foundation that has always held you. These values are not just principles, they are your roots, grounding you in the storm, allowing you to bend without breaking. And as you flow forward, you'll encounter others, fellow travelers who are also learning to trust the rhythm of life. Share your stories. Listen to theirs. There is magic in mutual vulnerability, in finding harmony within the chaos. Together, you create a symphony of resilience, each person an instrument, each life a melody of transformation. You are not adrift, you are dancing. You are not lost, you are flowing. And every step, every stumble, every leap of faith is a note in the masterpiece that only you can compose. Chapter 7. Living with Purpose. You've taken the leap, you've embraced the unknown, allowed change to shape you, and now you arrive at a sacred threshold, the call to live with purpose. This moment isn't just about where you are or what you're doing. It's about who you are becoming. With every sunrise, you're handed a fresh canvas, a chance to paint your life with meaning, boldness, and truth. Your journey as a book is still being written. The earlier chapters hold pain and progress, heartbreak and healing. Every struggle has sharpened your wisdom. Every quiet triumph has carved depth into your character. Now the blank pages ahead wait eagerly for your pen, for the version of you who is no longer surviving, but fully alive. Living with purpose goes beyond achievement or recognition. It's about pouring significance into the smallest acts. It's found in how you love, how you serve, how you choose integrity when no one's watching. In your new environment, opportunities to make a difference will present themselves like open hands, moments to mentor, to uplift, to smile at someone who desperately needs light. Your presence alone can shift the energy of a room. Never underestimate that power. Purpose thrives in reflection. Carve out daily space to return to yourself through journaling, silent walks, or whispered prayers. Ask, are my actions echoing my values? Am I aligned with what truly matters? In stillness, clarity blooms. And in gratitude, abundance flows. The more you notice what's beautiful, the more beauty seems to arrive. True leadership isn't found in titles. It lives as an example. In the quiet courage of showing up authentically, be the one who listens deeply, who lifts others when they falter, who leads by simply being real. Every small gesture becomes part of a greater mosaic, a life that doesn't just touch the world, but transforms it. Even the tiniest progress matters. Trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to elevate your purpose. Your story, uniquely yours, is already a beacon. Let it shine, and others will find their way by its light. Chapter 8. The Ripple Effect. Now, as you stand at the edge of this new beginning, take a breath and look back not with regret, but with reverence. Every choice you've made, every brave word spoken, every quiet act of kindness has echoed far beyond your own life. You may not have seen it, but those moments created ripples, subtle waves of influence that continue to move through the world, touching hearts and shifting destinies. You are part of something far greater than yourself. Your life is a thread woven into a magnificent tapestry of souls, each adding their own color through trials, triumphs, and transformation. Whether you realize it or not, your story has become a light to others, a testimony of resilience, a whisper of hope, a spark that might ignite someone else's journey. Think of all the connections you've made along the way. Each person you've impacted, whether for a moment or a season, forms a link in a powerful web of growth and healing. This is the ripple effect, a single act of courage inspiring another. One seed of compassion blooming into a forest of change. Your journey is not just yours anymore. It now belongs to those who've witnessed it, learned from it, and been inspired because of it. As you move forward, do so with intention. Know that your every step has weight, your every word carries possibility. You are no longer just responding to life. You are shaping it. You've become an architect of change, a steward of purpose. Encourage others to rise with you. Share your story freely. Give what you've gained. The wisdom you hold is not meant to sit silently, it's meant to circulate, to multiply. When passed from heart to heart, it becomes legacy. This relocation, this shift, wasn't just a move, it was a symbol, a sacred sign that you were ready for more. The wealthy stranger wasn't your answer, only your signal. The rest, that's you. And what you do from here will continue to ripple outward, long after you've passed through this moment. Chapter 9. The Awakening. Awakening is not a thunderclap. It isn't a single earth-shaking moment that changes everything at once. Rather, it arrives softly, like sunlight spilling through your window at dawn, quiet but undeniable. You begin to see that this journey you're on isn't about arriving at some final destination. It's about returning to yourself, layer by layer, day by day. Every sunrise offers you a choice: to hide behind old fears and limiting beliefs, or to rise with clarity and courage. With each passing moment, you are invited to peel back what no longer serves you, the doubts you inherited, the stories that dimmed your light, and rediscover the truth that has always lived inside you. This is the awakening, a gradual, sacred unfolding of your soul's original brilliance. It won't always feel profound. Sometimes it's a fleeting thought that shifts your mindset, a moment of peace after chaos, the soft recognition that you've changed. Other times, it's the tears that follow a breakthrough, or the strength you feel when you finally say no to something that once owned you. These small awakenings matter. Celebrate them, honor them. They are signs that you are becoming more of who you were always meant to be. As your awareness deepens, the universe will speak to you in whispers, a familiar melody that stirs something deep, a passing stranger who says exactly what you need to hear, a dream that gently nudges your heart awake. These are not coincidences. They are confirmations, markers on your path, proof that every choice you've made in faith has not been in vain. So write it down, document your becoming, let your journal become the mirror that reflects your growth. One day, as you flip through the pages, you'll witness the quiet miracle of how far you've come. The best chapters of your story are still being written. The world is waiting, and this time, you are more ready than ever to answer destiny's call. Embrace the change, honor your inner truth, and know that every act of love and courage will echo throughout eternity. May this journey guide you, empower you, and ignite the spark within to create a life of meaning, beauty, and limitless possibility. Your destiny is unfolding, and the universe is yours to explore. Thank you for joining in this transformational journey. Let's subscribe and comment 11 to activate a divine signal in the universe. May you carry this inspiration in your heart and let it guide you to the extraordinary life you were always meant to live. Chosen one, awaken. What I'm about to share with you is not just another message scrolling past your screen. This is a divine summons and ancient truth whispered through time, arriving in your life at this very moment by no accident. If you're here, it's because the hand of God has guided you through every turn, every tear, every inexplicable longing to hear this now. Breathe and lean in closely, because this is not about religion, it's about revelation. It's about you finally remembering who you truly are and why the world has fought so hard to make you forget. Have you ever felt like something inside you was always just different? Like there was a spark in you that others couldn't quite explain? Maybe you've sensed things before they happened, or felt deeply connected to people's emotions, even strangers. Maybe you've spent years trying to fit in and still felt like you were meant for something more. And now is the time to uncover the truth the enemy never wanted you to find, to awaken the divine blueprint written into your spirit before the foundations of the earth were ever laid. The signs were always there, the dreams that lingered longer than sleep, the intuition that led you when logic failed, the pull toward deeper truths when the world told you to settle for the surface. These weren't coincidences. They were echoes of your calling, a sacred reminder from heaven that your story was never meant to be ordinary. So listen closely, because once this message reaches your spirit, you'll never see your life the same again. The pain will have purpose, the rejection will make sense, and even the silence from heaven will begin to sound like strategy. But be warned, only the awakened will recognize the voice behind the words. If you're still here, if something deep inside you is stirring, burning, resonating, then you already know you were chosen. Let's subscribe and comment 999 below if this message finds you. Now come with me. Let's journey deeper into the truth of who you really are, into the story they never wanted you to hear, into the fire that's been waiting to rise within you. From the earliest moments of your life, even before you understood what it meant, the signs were already present, gentle, quiet whispers woven into the fabric of your existence. Not everyone noticed them. In truth, most couldn't. But they were subtle yet powerful reminders that you were never meant to live an ordinary life. While other children found joy in fleeting distractions, your soul searched for meaning in the unseen. Your thoughts strayed to mysteries others didn't dare to ponder. You felt things more deeply, sensed more intuitively, and saw through layers of reality that those around you seemed blind to. There was a quiet knowing within you, even if you couldn't put it into words. You observed the world not from the center of it, but from a place just outside, where the deeper truths whispered louder. While others laughed freely, your heart picked up on the sadness behind the smiles. You heard the ache in someone's silence, noticed the shift in a room's energy, and felt the weight of emotions that weren't even your own. It was as though your spirit was tuned to a different frequency, one aligned not with noise and distraction, but with meaning, purpose, and divine communication. And that's because, whether you realized it or not, God was already speaking to you. Long before you knew His name, He knew yours. Jeremiah 1:5 echoes this eternal truth. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. This wasn't just ancient poetry. It was your reality. Heaven has already written your mission into your spirit. But when the world met your depth, it didn't understand. It labeled you too sensitive, too emotional, too serious, too quiet. The world tried to tame your light, shape you into its mold, convince you that different meant defective. But different never meant broken. It meant called. Like the prophet Samuel, whose journey began in childhood with the voice of God, whispering His name in the dark. You may have heard the call long before you recognized its source. Samuel didn't understand who was calling him until someone guided him. Maybe no one guided you. Maybe no one told you that the way you see, feel, and think isn't strange, it's sacred. But still, the call never stopped. It echoed in the moments of stillness, in your dreams, in the tears you couldn't explain, in the longing you've always felt for something more. You've never been ordinary because ordinary was never your destiny. You were set apart for something extraordinary, and deep down, part of you has always known. Let's be honest, being chosen doesn't always feel like a divine gift. More often than not, it feels like loneliness. You've likely felt it for as long as you can remember, a quiet ache that comes from living in a world that doesn't quite see you for who you are. It's as if your heart was wired for deeper waters while everyone else was content swimming in the shallows. You're the one who listens when no one else does, the one who gives even when your own soul is running on empty. You've shown up for others time and again, even when you were silently breaking. And the hardest part? Few seem to notice. You've loved without condition, and yet love hasn't always been returned. You've carried burdens that didn't belong to you, sat with others in their darkest hours, and offered pieces of yourself to heal wounds you didn't cause. And somewhere along the way, you may have asked yourself, what's wrong with me? Why do I feel so much? Why do I always seem to be the one who cares too deeply, gives too freely, hurts too quietly? But chosen one, hear this. There is nothing wrong with you. This is divine preparation. The intensity of your emotions, the depth of your compassion, the strength you've had to build just to survive, it's all part of the refining process. God doesn't choose people who blend in. He chooses those who are willing to be set apart. And those He sets apart, He refines, not to harm them, but to purify them. Like gold in the fire, you have been tested, not to be destroyed, but to be revealed. You've been shaped in secret, strengthened in silence, trained in places where no one applauded but heaven watched closely. And if you've ever felt like your journey is harder than most, it's because your calling is greater than most. Even Jesus was rejected by His own people. John 1:11 tells us, He came to that which was His own, but His own did not receive Him. Moses fled into the wilderness. Joseph was betrayed by the ones who should have loved him most. Being misunderstood doesn't mean you're lost. It often means you're being hidden for a time, preserved for something sacred. The world cannot recognize what heaven has concealed, but God is lifting the veil. What once felt like rejection will soon be revealed as redirection. You were never meant to be like the rest because you were chosen to lead. Every rejection you've endured, every door that slammed shut in your face, every time someone walked away or failed to see your worth, it may have felt like punishment, but it was never that. It was positioning. What appeared to be loss was actually divine alignment in disguise. When people pushed you out, it wasn't because you weren't enough, it was because God was calling you higher. When plans unraveled and the life you thought you were building began to fall apart, it wasn't destruction, it was redirection. While you were crying over what didn't work out, heaven was quietly clearing the path for what would. And though the pain was real and the confusion deep, behind the scenes, God was protecting what He planted inside you. The rejection you faced didn't come to break you, it came to free you, to release you from relationships that could not carry your calling, to cut off paths that would have led you far from your purpose, to strip away everything that was never meant to go with you into the next season of your life. God was not withholding something good, He was preparing you for something greater. Sometimes we cling to people, places, or plans because they feel familiar, even when they no longer serve our growth. But God, in His mercy, will allow the wrong doors to close so that the right ones can open. He'll let you be misunderstood, overlooked, even betrayed, not because He wants you to suffer, but because He's setting you apart. And in the midst of it all, even when you couldn't feel it, God never left. He was there in the silence, in the questions, in the heartbreak, whispering, "Trust me, I'm doing something you cannot see yet." What you thought was the end was actually the beginning of something more aligned with your true identity. Rejection was the tool He used to carve away the excess, the distractions, the lies others placed on you. It was heaven's way of saying, that's not who you are, and that's not where you're meant to be. So if you're still holding on to pain from doors that didn't open, or people who didn't stay, let this be your release. God never wastes your hurt. He redeems every piece of it. And when the time is right, you'll look back and see with clarity. Every no was a sacred yes in disguise. You weren't being cast aside. You were being called higher. There is a kind of person whose heart naturally leans into the pain of others, who can sense unspoken sorrow in a room, feel the weight of someone's silence, and offer comfort without needing to be asked. This is not simply kindness. It is not just compassion, it is divine empathy, a sacred gift woven into the soul by the Creator Himself. For the chosen ones, this gift is both a compass and a calling. It directs their steps toward the hurting, the lost, the overlooked. It causes them to feel deeply, not as a curse, but as part of their purpose. The world may not understand such sensitivity. It often mislabels it as weakness or emotional fragility. But in heaven's eyes, this is one of the most powerful traits a person can carry. Empathy is not softness. It is strength, cloaked in gentleness. It is spiritual discernment expressed through love. Those who carry it are not just emotional beings. They are healers, intercessors, light bearers in a weary and burdened world. Galatians 6:2 speaks directly to this divine assignment. Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ. To bear the burdens of others is to live like Jesus, to move through the world with a heart that sees what others miss, that feels what others hide. Chosen ones often walk through life unnoticed by the world, but fully seen by God. They are the quiet supporters, the secret prayer warriors, the ones who stay long after the crowd has left. It reaches into the unseen and lifts what others cannot carry. This is why chosen ones feel so deeply, because their calling is to heal deeply, to bring God's presence into the places that ache the most. And though it may leave them tired, unseen, or misunderstood, it is this very gift that makes them a reflection of God's heart. To love like this, to feel like this is not a flaw. It is proof that heaven trusts you with the wounds of others. It is the mark of someone chosen not just to see, but to heal. Some dreams leave behind a haunting clarity, vivid impressions that refuse to fade with the morning light. They linger in the soul, echoing like whispers from a place beyond the physical world. These dreams do not feel ordinary. They speak in symbols, stir something within, and often carry a message that can't be explained away. For the chosen ones, this experience is not uncommon. God often speaks to his people through dreams, bypassing the mind to reach the heart directly. In the stillness of night, when distractions fade and the soul is most receptive, heaven sends insight, guidance, warning, revelation, even confirmation. It's a sacred line of communication that has existed throughout Scripture and history. Consider Joseph, the dreamer in Genesis 37. His visions showed him glimpses of greatness long before he held any power, long before anyone took him seriously. In fact, his dreams caused envy and separation. But what others saw as fantasy was, in truth, prophecy. The very dreams that isolated him became the foundation for his rise to leadership in Egypt. What seemed confusing at first was actually preparation for a destiny far greater than he could have imagined. That's the nature of divine dreams. They're often misunderstood, even by the dreamer, until the time comes for their fulfillment. If your dreams feel unusually vivid, filled with meaning that tugs at your spirit, it's important not to dismiss them. God may be revealing glimpses of what's to come, preparing your heart, or answering prayers you haven't yet voiced. The realm of the Spirit is always speaking, and for those who are chosen, dreams become a bridge between the earthly and the divine. Some dreams come as warnings urging you to shift direction, break a cycle, or avoid danger. Others bring peace, comfort, or confirmation that you are exactly where you're meant to be. And some, though mysterious, are seeds of vision planted by God, waiting for the appointed time to bloom. The more you pay attention, the more clearly you'll begin to see. Your dreams are not illusions, they are invitations. Heavenly clues that you are being guided, guarded, and grown. So write them down, pray over them, seek God in them, because when heaven speaks in dreams, it's never without purpose. There were moments when everything around you seemed to crumble, when the weight of life felt too heavy, and all signs pointed toward collapse, but somehow you endured. What should have broken you only refined you. What should have taken you out instead lifted you higher. These moments weren't coincidences or streaks of good fortune. They were evidence of divine protection, God's invisible hand shielding you, covering you, guiding your every step. Psalm 91:11 declares, "He will command his angels concerning you, to guard you in all your ways." And that's exactly what he's done. You've been spared from things you'll never fully understand. Accidents that didn't happen, relationships that didn't work out, delays that frustrated you but ended up saving you. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Every unanswered prayer wasn't silence, it was strategy. God's protection doesn't always come wrapped in the comfort we expect. Sometimes it comes in the form of detours, delays, or even disappointments. But make no mistake, his hand has been upon you from the beginning. For the chosen, this protection is not about privilege or perfection, it's about purpose. There is a divine mission encoded in your spirit, and heaven has been preserving you for it. The enemy may have tried to derail you, but God intervened. Time and again, he stepped in, sometimes subtly, sometimes miraculously, to ensure you stayed on course. You're still standing not by accident, but by divine design. And if you look back with spiritual eyes, you'll see the fingerprints of his mercy all over your story. From a young age, there was a stirring in your soul that couldn't be silenced, a quiet yet persistent hunger for answers that ran deeper than surface-level explanations. While others were content with what they were told, you felt compelled to ask questions that made people pause. Why am I here? What is my purpose? This deep yearning has followed you through the years, sometimes whispering in quiet moments, sometimes roaring in frustration when life didn't seem to match what your heart knew was possible. Proverbs 25:2 reveals, "It is the glory of God to conceal a matter, but the glory of kings to search it out." In other words, some truths are hidden not to keep them from you, but to draw you deeper into the search. That spiritual longing is no accident. It was placed in you by the Creator himself. You were never meant to live on autopilot, never meant to blindly accept what others say is true. You were designed to search for wisdom, for truth, for divine meaning. This hunger inside you is holy. It's leading you, guiding you, shaping your journey. And no matter how far you stray, it always pulls you back to center, to your purpose, your calling, your true identity. The deeper you search, the more you uncover. And the more you uncover, the more clearly you begin to see. You were born to seek something eternal, and you are closer than you think. Fitting in has never felt natural, and that's not a flaw. It's a clue. There's a reason why you've always sensed a quiet distance between yourself and the world around you. It's because you weren't created to mirror it. You were created to transform it. The thoughts you carry, the way you see life, the burden you feel for truth, justice, and something more, it all points to your calling. You weren't meant to follow the crowd. You were meant to lead with light. Romans 12:2 reminds us, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." This isn't just advice, it's your identity. God didn't design you to blend in. He set you apart, knowing the fire inside you would one day illuminate places that others are afraid to enter. You are a disruptor of darkness, a voice for the voiceless, a carrier of glory in a world desperate for hope. That feeling of being out of place, it's not rejection, it's redirection. You've been refined through trial, shaped by seasons of silence, and made resilient through the battles you never asked for. All of it was preparation. You are a vessel uniquely crafted for divine purpose. While others chase approval, you are being called to carry presence. While many settle for comfort, you've been chosen for courage. Your difference isn't something to fix, it's something to follow. Because in the very space where you feel most unlike the world, you are most aligned with heaven. The atmosphere shifts when you walk in truth. You weren't made to echo the noise, you were made to carry a sound from above. And now the world is waiting for what only you can bring. Everything you've walked through, every silent battle, every heartbreak, every unanswered question, and every tear you've cried in the dark has been leading to this. None of it was wasted. None of it was meaningless. You weren't being broken, you were being built. You were being shaped in secret so you could rise in strength. Your journey has never been random. The pain you've carried has been part of your preparation. The delays you've endured were divine pauses, not denials. Every closed door was a redirection towards something higher. And now your spirit can feel the shift. Something within you is waking up, rising with purpose, ready to step into the identity that's always been yours. This is the moment where remembrance meets revelation, where you stop wondering why it happened and start understanding what it was all for. Isaiah 61 proclaims, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." This is your time to rise, not in pride, but in purpose. The weight you've carried is lifting. The vision is becoming clear. The fire within you is no longer meant to be hidden. God is unveiling what He always saw in you, and soon the world will see it too. The same light that heaven planted in you long ago is beginning to shine in full strength. You are no longer who you were. You are who you were always meant to become. And now, chosen one, the time has come to remember not who the world said you are, but who God has always known you to be. So as you walk forward from this moment, do so with boldness, do so with faith, do so with fire in your soul and purpose in every step. The world tries to bury you, but they didn't know. You were a seed, and now it's your season to bloom. Let the world see what God has placed inside you. The best is not behind you. The best is about to begin.